Hey everyone! From the African savannas to the Amazon rainforest, the world is full of amazing creatures. But have you ever thought about the weird habits of some famous people? Those little things they did can tell us a lot about them. Get ready, because we're going to look at 5 strange quirks of famous figures and how those quirks might have changed history. Napoleon Bonaparte, he was a big deal. Known for his military genius and his role in shaping European history, he was a figure of immense power and influence. But beyond the battlefield and political maneuvers, there was another side to him that many people might not be aware of. He was a famous general, but he also really loved his wife, Josephine. Their relationship was passionate and tumultuous, filled with intense emotions and deep affection. Despite the challenges they faced, Napoleon's love for Josephine remained a constant in his life. Napoleon wrote tons of letters to Josephine. These letters were not just mere correspondences, they were heartfelt expressions of his longing and devotion. Each letter was a testament to the depth of his feelings and the pain of their separation. Imagine him leading armies, but also writing love letters. In the midst of planning military strategies and leading his troops, he would take the time to pen down his thoughts and emotions for Josephine. It's a fascinating juxtaposition of his roles as a leader and a lover. These letters were full of how much he missed her. They spoke of his yearning to be with her, his dreams of their future together, and his sorrow at being apart. Each word was imbued with a sense of urgency and passion. "I wake up thinking of you," he wrote. This simple yet profound statement encapsulates the depth of his love and the constant presence of Josephine in his thoughts. His letters were filled with such tender expressions, revealing a softer side of the formidable general. These letters show us a different side of Napoleon, not just the general, but a man in love. They offer a glimpse into his personal life, his vulnerabilities, and his capacity for deep emotional connection. Through these letters, we see Napoleon not just as a historical figure, but as a human being with profound feelings and desires. Now let's talk about Albert Einstein, a super smart scientist. Einstein was famous for not liking socks. He thought they were pointless and uncomfortable. Imagine him thinking big thoughts and then being bothered by a sock. Einstein liked things simple. He thought socks were just extra trouble. So next time you have trouble with a sock, think of Einstein. Chapter 3. Beethoven's Icy Inspiration. Let's talk about music and Ludwig van Beethoven. Beethoven wrote amazing music, but he had some strange habits. Imagine Vienna early in the morning. Splash! Beethoven would dump ice-cold water on himself. He thought it woke up his creativity. Picture him, bucket of icy water, ready to make music. Beethoven shows us that sometimes being creative means doing unusual things. Chapter 4. Tesla and the Pigeons. Let's go to New York City and meet Nikola Tesla, a brilliant inventor. Tesla loved pigeons. He moved to New York City in the late 19th century, where he worked on many groundbreaking inventions. Despite his busy life, he found solace in the company of pigeons. You could find him in the park, feeding them. Every day he would take time out of his schedule to visit the local parks, where he would feed and care for the pigeons. It was his way of finding peace amidst the chaos of his scientific endeavors. He really cared about them, especially one hurt pigeon he helped get better. This particular pigeon had a broken wing, and Tesla took it upon himself to nurse it back to health. He spent hours tending to its needs, ensuring it had food and a safe place to recover. "I love that pigeon," Tesla wrote, "like a man loves a woman." This statement reveals the depth of his affection and the emotional bond he felt with the bird. It wasn't just a casual interest, it was a profound connection that brought him immense joy and comfort. He felt a connection with them. Tesla believed that these birds understood him in a way that few humans could. They were his companions, offering him a sense of companionship and understanding that he cherished deeply. Tesla shows us that even super smart people can have a soft spot for animals. His love for pigeons reminds us that no matter how focused we are on our work or how brilliant our minds may be, we all need something that brings us peace and happiness. For Tesla, it was the simple joy of caring for his feathered friends. Chapter 5. Churchill's Power Naps. Now let's talk about Winston Churchill, the leader of Britain during World War II. Churchill worked hard, but he had a secret naps. Even during the war, Churchill took naps, sometimes for 2 hours. Imagine bombs falling and Churchill is asleep. He thought naps helped him think better. Churchill shows us that rest is important, even when things are tough. So there you have it. 5 amazing people with some unusual habits. Each of these individuals, in their own unique way, has left an indelible mark on history. Their quirks and eccentricities are not just footnotes in their biographies, but are integral parts of their stories. From Napoleon's letters to Einstein's no-socks rule, Beethoven's icy baths, Tesla's pigeons, and Churchill's naps, these habits might seem odd to us, but they were part of what made these figures who they were. They remind us that greatness often comes with a touch of the unusual. These stories show us that being different is okay. In fact, it's often the unique traits and habits that set people apart and make them memorable. It's a reminder that our own quirks can be a source of strength and individuality. These habits give us a peek into who they were. They humanize these larger-than-life figures, making them more relatable and reminding us that they, too, had their own struggles and idiosyncrasies. Even the most famous people are just people with their own little quirks. These quirks are what make them real and relatable, showing us that no one is perfect and that everyone has their own unique way of navigating the world. So be yourself, and remember, sometimes the weirdest things are the most interesting. Embrace your quirks, celebrate your individuality, and take inspiration from these historical figures who dared to be different. After all, it's our differences that make us truly remarkable.